Okay, peeps, welcome back. So today we're going to go over our buys, sells, and dividends for December 24th through December 30th of 2023. This will be the last week of the year before going into 2024. Let's get it. So the first thing that I want to basically point out to you guys is so this is going to be a bit sporadic, but going to try to go through this as orderly as possible. So um, you guys can see the calculators from the left on the right. So the calculator on the left is the amount of money that we made from our trades in non-native cryptocurrency. That would be HZEN, the Grayscale Horizon Trust, and also some profits we took on HUT8 stock, which is Bitcoin miner stock. The one next to it, which is $33.10, we took that profit basically on dividend paying stocks. So Coney and AMZ, I believe it was pretty much all we had in terms of profits on dividend paying stocks. And then the $644.05 in the middle would be actual native cryptocurrencies. So the actual cryptocurrencies, we took some profits on those this week, which we're going to get into. And then the $256.77, as you guys can see right there, is the amount of total dividends and also in money market interest that we received this month. So with that being said, let's get into it. So the first thing I want to bring up here is that you guys can see that we are back into HZen now. We actually have more money in HZen than we had before, so about a few $100s more. And we also still have some cash sitting on the side up here, as you can see. This number up here is not accurate. It's actually 1,000. It's not 3,000. So it just takes some time to process. If you guys are wondering why that is, that's pretty much why that is. But you guys can see that we're massively back in profit here. In terms of HZen, we're probably looking for it to, I would say if we were going to take profit in the immediate short term, again, we would be looking for roughly about a 2x, maybe a little bit more, maybe a 2.5x. But again, this is a position that we do plan on holding for the longer term to potentially get like a 10 to 15x at a minimum during the next crypto bull run, which is coming in roughly about 12 months. So we'll now get into the activity orders. So you guys can basically see that we did recently sell HZen here. So we popped this down. You can see that this was on the 28th. We sold all of our shares at $1.78. So I did the math, basically adding these up. If we do the math on this, we'll basically go 140.61 plus 123.50 plus 32.25. We'll move this over a little bit so y'all can see it. So 649.60, just so y'all know I'm going from the bottom to the top here. So we got the Bitcoin Cash. That was the profits on Bitcoin Cash earlier this month, as you can see over here on the left. And then we have 125.02. So I'm right here. So we got 366.96. 131.50. And 103.13. So our initial total cost basis was just shy of $1,700 before, but as you can see, we sold it for over $2,300. So there clearly was a profit there, just so y'all know. And you don't think we're just making this stuff up. We did the numbers right in front of you. So 2305.88 minus 1672.57. 1672.57. What's odd about this is when I do the numbers on these, it shows that there was actually $633.31 of profit, but that's actually not accurate because what we have typed in on our spreadsheets, which we will eventually get around to you guys and show you guys all the real-time data that we have, it actually shows just shy of 570. So I'm not sure if that was like a trading fee or what was going on there, but it's actually less than this. So even though the numbers tell you on here that it is more, it's actually not. It's less. It's supposed to be about 570. So anyways, with that being said, we'll go ahead and add the numbers up here real quick. So we got 581 or 583.51. Again, that was non-native crypto profits. 3310, that is the what was it? Dividend paying stock profits that we took. 644.05 was native cryptocurrency. And in terms of dividends, 256.77. So 256.77. So in total, including dividends, we've made $1,517.43 this week. And keep in mind, only a small portion of this was dividends. That was that 256. So with that being said, you guys can see after we took profit here on HSEN, we did actually get what is it called? We did get back into HSEN shortly after. So we told you guys before that there is a transaction settlement date. So it's called T+2. Basically, when you sell one of your positions on Fidelity, you have to wait 2 days after the transaction date, whatever that date is, in order to reposition yourself back into stocks and not get flagged potentially as a pattern day trader or violating the T2 rule, which could be some pretty severe consequences. So we had to wait a couple of days for that. Plus, you have the holidays and stuff. So, anyways, we picked up roughly about 1,800 here. You can see 1,000 shares, 1,062 shares at 173, and then also another 100 shares at 172. And ever since then, we've been sitting on the position. As you guys can see here, we've just been kind of sitting on it. It is actually back in profit again, believe it or not. So we got 566 from our money market fund. This was basically just a cash dividend, or not a dividend, but I mean a money market savings to interest, because the Fed funds rate is high. Like we told y'all before, when that happens, bank account savings rates are going to be high. That's typically how it goes. So with that being said, we're now going to go to M1 Finance. And again, we did tell y'all this was going to be a little sporadic because we're doing both crypto and stocks in this. So we got 545 in dividends from EFC, 439 from RA, 334 from USOI. We have picked up quite a bit of USOI since oil tanked, so we increased our dividends just a small amount there. A penny on Main Street. Yes, we did used to own Main Street, believe it or not. 2 cents on BITO, 1153 on RIV, 614 on TLTW, and 1107 on OPP. So that's our dividends here on M1 Finance. Now, in terms of the dividends that we received here on Robinhood, it's supposed to be 94 cents or $94.16 from Clip. Now, as for on Webull, so if we go over here to the dividends tab, you guys can see, I believe that the dividend that was supposed to be paid for Clip was supposed to be paid on the 29th, but for some reason it hasn't showed up here. I'm assuming that's because the holidays are still in effect. So maybe sometime next week we'll get it, but you guys can see it hasn't popped up here. So if we do some simple math on Clip, so we'll go ahead and do, I believe it's 184 times the current distribution rate, which is 62.5 cents. So we're supposed to get about $115 from that. So that has not showed up yet, but I'm pretty confident it will, probably sometime this week, I would say. So now we're going to go back and go to the trades that we took on M1 Finance. So we'll just glance over these real quick. So we got the 26th here. You guys can see that we sold out of GSBD and OARC. We got back into GSBD before the ex-dividend date, which was supposed to be on the 28th. So we should still be getting the dividend from that. Bought quite a bit of PDI here, as you can see. And then we sold a UVV again for profit, but of course we're going to get back in before the 5th of next month, which is when the X date is. We bought back into GSBD. This is on the 27th, again, before the X date for GSBD. We bought a bunch of PDI, RIV, and OARC. You guys are wondering probably why are the buys so massive on these two right here? Well, it's pretty simple. We took roughly about half the profit we made in crypto, the native cryptocurrencies, and we moved them into these dividend-paying stocks. That's kind of our goal, to do that before the actual crypto bull run takes place. Then when that takes place, then we'll basically be putting all the money back into crypto that we make in profits. So on the 28th here, we bought some RIV. This was just cost basis, and then buying, or I should say dollar cost averaging, and then buying back into UVV. And then on the 29th here, you can see we bought into Riv quite a bit. Again, part of that was also profit. So now if we go back to the portfolio, sorry, this is taking a while, guys. It, for some reason, has been loading slowly since they updated their website. So as you guys can see, we have loaded quite a bit of shares on PDI. The goal, again, is to get each of these to pay us roughly about $20 a month. So we're not quite there on PDI yet, but we are there on ACP. The next one that we've been loading up on is Riv. Again, we're basically just kind of going down the list here in between ex-dividend dates. So you can see we've loaded quite a bit more shares on this one. And if we take a look at ACP, you guys can see that, well, of course, it pays 10 cents a share. So if you do 200 shares, that's going to be $20 a month. And we are still technically underwater on this position in terms of the market price being below our cost basis. But again, the dividends kind of offset that. If you guys understand how dividend investing works, that's kind of how it works. When you get drawdowns, the dividends kind of blunt some of that downforce from the markets. So with that being said, we're going to get into the next piece here. So you're just going to have to give me a second on this. It's a lot of stuff. So before I actually, you know what? I'm going to save the crypto piece for last. So we'll get into this first. Basically, pretty much I have been scaling in and out of Coney all week and pretty much since it's been skyrocketing. So as you guys, I'm sure you guys know that Coney's been on an absolute tear. We have been taking quite a bit of profit on these positions. So you can see here, we have like a sell here on the 14th, and then we have another sell here on the 19th. And then you guys can see that we have another sell here on the 20th and another sell on the 22nd. And then another sell on the 22nd again. I think this was on the 22nd again. And then we also have another sell on the 26th. And then we have yet another sell on the 27th and another sell again on the 27th. And that was the last time we did it because we got a warning from Robinhood saying that if we had two more day trades, so to speak, buying and selling within one day, that we would be flagged as a pattern day trader. We obviously don't want that. The best way to avoid that is to have over 25,000 in any particular account. That's how you kind of avoid getting flagged like that. We're not there yet. So we have loaded some shares of Coney. You can see we have 20 shares or 20.18 shares of Coney. We also have added a pretty substantial amount. I think we bought a few shares of GUI, but we added mostly IWMY here, pretty much ahead of the ex-dividend date. Plus, the Russell 2000 is also known to be very bullish during the first quarter of the year. So we're kind of lining up for that too. But if we go up here, you guys can see that we have kind of taken some of the profit and bought a little bit over the weeks. So we bought one share on the 26th, which was the day after Christmas. And then, of course, you got IWMY here. So this is IWMY. If we go ahead and do show more here, you guys will see the transactions. I don't know why this keyboard short thing keeps popping up. It's kind of annoying. Sorry about that. So I'm trying to get this thing to move. There we go. Okay, so yeah, you can see the pending dividend here at $12.24. So we wanted to get in ahead of that. So we bought a bunch basically last week. You can see 100, 20, 18, 71, 97, and 2210. Some of this was the profit from Coney. Some of it was just DCAing. So that's the IWMY. Now we're going to go to HUD 8. I believe it's HUD 8. Okay, so you guys can see that we bought just a basic $40 of HUD 8 here, and then we sold it for roughly about $13.75 a few days later because you can see the price just absolutely took off. It was like some $5 a share more, so We ended up taking profit, and the total was 1371 on that position. So that pretty much covers Robinhood, Webull, and M1 Finance, as well as Fidelity. So the last thing that we're going to get into here is the actual native cryptocurrency portfolios. So you guys can see what our positions are here. Most of the main ones, again, we do not keep all of our funds here on this exchange or any exchange. This is a relatively small amount of our overall position. But just to give you guys a quick rundown of what the profits and the buys were. So we took $109 in profit on Jasmy, $120.80 on Graph, $62.63, $159.15, and $192 on 47 cents on Scale. Those last three profits were on just Scale alone, which is this one right here. And then we bought into crypto, $200 in Filecoin, $1,275 into the Graph, which was basically just repositioning back into the token after taking profit. $200 in Engine, $810 in Decentraland, which is this one right here. $900 in Scale, although it is quite a bit lower than when we bought it, so I guess we should probably DCA some more into it. And then $525 into Jasmy. Now, in terms of the details of all the transactions, we'll go into that in a later video because, again, if we do that in this video is going to take forever, and it takes a while to go through all those transactions and add up the numbers and stuff. So anyways, we've made quite a bit of money this week. Can't complain. It's been a pretty generous Christmas, I would say. So I hope you all enjoyed the content. Again, Happy New Year's. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see y'all later. Peace.